Welcome back to Marketplace. Today we're talking pension plans, or these days, the lack thereof. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, during the early 1990s, 35% of private industry employees were working for an employer that provided a pension. But by 2011, the number had dropped to 18%. Our favorite retirement duo is back to help break it all down for us, Greg and Kristen Taylor. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So we're talking pension plans. Why are we seeing such a decline?
Well, there's a huge reason for this. One is longevity. It takes a lot more money to fund it. And with all the regulations out there right now, a company can't just say, well, we're going to give you this much money, you're going to get less money per year. They have to fund it to a certain level per year. So no matter how long those people live, they have to fund it. Also, the decline in interest rates has made it more costly for an employer to add these benefits.
And who's getting the plans? How do they know who gets them, who doesn't?
Well, it's really it's company by company. And, locally, there's a few places that offer pensions, some auto manufacturers locally
a couple big
do.
companies that do. Yes, absolutely.
Now, you work with a lot of those companies, like Honda.
Yeah.
What are they doing that they're offering those pensions?
Well, there's all kinds of options that they're offering, and one of the things we like to sit down and talk to people about when they're faced with the option of their pension is to look at what's left over to their spouse.
Yeah.
So if you have several options, and unfortunately what we've seen a lot of people do is choose the option that leaves zero to their spouse.
Right.
And when that happens, then we've got to look at the future and say, okay, typically women live longer than men.
Is there any benefit to doing that?
Well, not sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes if you've got enough dollars set aside outside of your pension that you can use for an income replacement plan, then that might make sense to do it that way. But we've got to look at which option fits you. And if you've already made the choice, like a couple who was in our office yesterday had already made the choice and left zero to his wife, we've got to look at replacing $30,000 a year for them if something happens to him. And they've saved enough, they can do that. But it's just one of those things that slips through the cracks sometimes when you're making those pension options.
Yeah, and understand that the company is going to give you an option sometimes of a lump sum distribution. So you get to take the cash and do what you want with it. But some people are making huge mistakes like paying off the house, buying a big car, and then they're owing Uncle Sam a bunch of tax because they took this money out.
Oh my gosh.
And so why would someone take a single life pension? Well, you get a bigger payout. It could be, say, $5,000 a month versus $4,000 a month if you leave some to your spouse, but you really run the risk of your spouse not being able to maintain the lifestyle. So even for those who are really looking to make those decisions about how should I take my pension, there's some good information out there. But also, if you've already done it, maybe you've already taken a single life pension, you've already made the choice. What can you do to protect your spouse? What can you do now to make sure that down the road that your family is not in jeopardy?
And I know when clients come in, you provide them with so many options. What are you seeing that they can maybe replace the pensions with?
Yes, so we do look at income replacement, and sometimes we'll use accounts that provide guarantees for life and then offset that dollar amount that maybe is going to be needing replaced should something happen, so one or the other. And in the couple I was talking about, in their case, there was a $30,000 downfall should the husband pass away first, and the wife actually also had a small pension, and there was going to be a $10,000 replacement needed. So we're looking at ways to set aside a certain amount of dollars, and you really just have to do the math. Okay, set aside a certain amount of dollars to replace that income in 5 to 10 years should something happen to one or the other.
Well, I know you're always helping people out, and you never come here without a freebie. So we do have a special offer for our viewers. If you'd like to learn more about how to plan for your retirement, call Legacy Retirement Group right now, and Greg and Kristen are giving away a free report called 7 Common Pensions and 401k Mistakes to anyone who calls in the next 30 minutes. The number to call, 614-336-7660. Greg, you wrote this report, right?
I did, and the idea behind the report is just simply to get the good information. So what do you do if you made a single life pension and now you're thinking, wow, how do I take care of my spouse now? And what to do with these 7 common mistakes. I call them common because we see them regularly in our practice.
Great. Well, Greg and Kristen, thank you for joining us today.
Good to be here.
I appreciate it. Now, again, the number to call, 614-336-7660, and you can learn more about how Greg and Kristen can help you retire successfully, and by visiting their website as well, LegacyRetirementGroup.com.